Hello, heroes. It's Dr. Zaino, and welcome to Hero Fuel, which is in a few minutes a day. We're going to fuel your mind, your body, and your future. And today we're going to talk about is your ability or the failure to be able to express yourself leading to depression in your life. So hi, I'm Dr. Zaino. If this is the first time you've ever met me, I'm one Mr. America, Mr. Universe, have one of the largest wellness clinics in the history of the profession. In the world, seen over 2,800 people per week, seen over 16,000 patients in my career up to this point, and leader of the I Am Hero Project. Now, one thing I could tell you is definitely that when you're working with that amount of people, over 16,000 patients, and seeing people on a daily basis, and a lot of times you'll see on the intake form, depression is tremendous. It's all up there. So you got depression, and you have depression where people are actually not taking medication, and then you have depression where people have been taking medication for decades over depression. And it was always this one event that sparked it, and it led to a never-ceasing way of doing it. And then a lot of times they were told that it was a chemical disturbance. There was something wrong with their chemistry. And the more I looked into it and the more I saw people's health change, so I was like, well, maybe because their health is gone, they're depressed. But then when they regained their health, they were still depressed. Or when I saw their circumstances change, when they had a better job, they were still depressed. Like they were bringing that in them. And so sometimes it's really easy to say, maybe is a chemical thing going on. And then you realized that deep down inside, they were, again, living a secret identity. They were living out the values of so many people in their life. They were living out the values of their peers or their parents or their relatives or what they think they should be doing. And deep down inside, they never were given the opportunity to express who they are. Or if there was an incident such as a divorce or death in the family and they were put on medication for that, they were never given the ability to express what was inside to be able to let it out. And so this is a huge epidemic in the world. 350 million people in the US, 350 million actually worldwide, not just to the US, is they're clinically diagnosed with depression. Clinically, like that's bad. And then 78 million people are on antipsychotic medications for that. And that they're told they'll never be able to get off that. And that almost kind of lobotomizes the person. And I'm saying that, and so I'm not getting down on the meds. I'm just speaking from experience myself. But I'm also giving you a better, truer hope. So if you're watching this and you appreciate this, you know someone who's dealing with some type of low, medium, or high depression, please tag them to this, hit the share, hit the like. So I'll just kind of tell you my story. When I was 21 years old, my father passed away. So he passed away in 1999, April 7th, 1999. And, I didn't need my dad to pass away at that time. And so it was just kind of sucked. It really sucked. And it wasn't like it was abrupt, all right? So he had cancer, right? So it was like kind of, if anything, we were prepped. You kind of were expecting. It was more of a waiting game. And I could talk about this another live, I had even a great, amazing night with my dad. I was the guy who went in and they had him so numbed up on drugs because he was in pain. He was sleeping most of the time. So hospice came into the house. And I remember one night, who's this kid? I called the nurse. I'm like, get over here and cut that medication out because he's sleeping and his family's over. Give him just that one night. So they said he'll be in pain. I'm like, I don't care. He won't care either. So we woke up and then we had one night where we had our whole family there. My dad was coherent enough to kind of say his piece and blessing because at that time we know he's going. He knows he's going. So what an opportunity it was for him to actually say his blessing and his piece over his entire family. It was just really good time. And then, they boosted up the meds. He was out. I digress. So he passes away. I was living in Naples, Florida at the time. At 21, it was such a, 22, it was such an in-between phase. It's a transition. You're kind of finding your career, but you kind of don't know what you're going to do. And it sucks. So then, sure. So I had thoughts. I was angry. I was going through these feelings and I told my mom, this is what I'm feeling. And then, so, because I didn't know what I knew about today about health, right? So we're like, well, maybe I should go see someone. So you talk to a therapist and they tell you to go to a psychiatrist and you go there like, listen, we'll just put you on Wellbutrin and some Prozac. And I'm like, all right. And then, so I took that and I really just didn't notice anything. I was still angry. I was still sad, more angry. I think angry was more my thing, just grieving. And that's the thing, like if you're grieving, whether it be divorce, marriage, or a hurricane hits your town, grieving is natural and no one could tell you how to grieve. Like those books about grieving are bullshit. It's like everybody has the right to grieve exactly they feel necessary to. Some of you are fast grievers, you know, some of you take your time, whatever. Like there's no right or wrong way to grieve. So I'm on these meds and I was like, I just remember like a couple months in, I remember I was, you know, because working out was like my thing. And I was ready to work out and I was ready to do a set and I wasn't happy. I wasn't sad. I wasn't motivated. I was numb. I was like, wow, I am like a robot. Like it just, you know, that's what it was. I was just very indifferent, very apathetic, not sad, not happy. So it was like, I didn't have range of emotion anymore, but I sure as hell didn't, I had no emotion. So I was like, the heck with that. I just stopped that. And I realized, you know, later on, here it is years later, that when you see that so many people are suffering from depression and pressure, and so many people are on antipsychotic medications for depression, and that the workplace is being affected, that you realize, and working with so many people, you realize when you really get to the root of something, that the opposite of depression is really expression. You know, the failure to be able to express what was always true in your heart that you wanted to get out. And like we talked about fears the other day, but so how come we didn't get it out? Because it's fear of losing love. It's fear of getting criticized. It's fear of scarcity, where people are going to think, so we hold this stuff on the inside. So of course you're going to be upset. Of course you're going to be feeling down because you're failing to express what was always inside you the entire time. So it is a wonderful feedback mechanism. It means things are working right. So if you're feeling depressed, you got to understand you are working right. It's something's working good for you. It's because it's a guidance system in you. It is something telling you you're failing to express something. It's something telling you that you're on the wrong road. It's a guidance system. It's like a GPS system. So we want to demonize it, but if you're feeling low and down, you just got to ask yourself, what am I failing to express? I'm not expressing something. And you need to search for it and express it. And two, understand that when you're feeling that way, you are going and well, number one, when you're feeling depressed, you're not aligned with your truth, all right? Because it is a lie that you're believing. Yes, my father passed away and I was grieving, so that's grieving, you get depressed, but you know, staying there means that the more you're able to express yourself and really know what it is, what it's telling you, then you're able to express yourself. So imagine you being able to express really was in the true deepest desires of your heart, and you would actually feel the depression like a fog, totally mist away. And that is really the key to it. It's not numbing it. It's not masking it. It's really getting true and expressing it. And it may be expressing or reliving a horrible moment, but being able to relive it and express it, you're actually getting it out. And sure, there might be tears, but guess what? Tears is like an emotional bowel movement. It's like getting that stuff out. But you must understand the opposite of depression is expression. If you're feeling low, medium, or high depression, it's because you're failing to express what you want to say, who you really are, and it's the next act of your life. You know, and then also because like I always say, it's a grieving of your potential. For some of you, you're feeling like a low or medium depression at your job because you're grieving your potential. You're sitting there thinking, is this it? You know, but you're so comfortable in the benefits and you're so comfortable of the security and the safety of having a place to work, right? So we allow the safety, the comfort, and the security of a place we don't want to be. And you stay in a place you don't want to be, and you're groundhogging every single day, and you're wishing about the someday, and of course that'll make you feel depressed. So when you're feeling that, you know, you're like, but, and then you start thinking about the but, and you start defending your limitations and saying, well, this is a great job, it's got great benefits, it's got an insurance plan, it's got a pension plan, but you're miserable, or you're slightly depressed, and it's just going to keep on getting more tormenting versus breaking out, moving forward, trying something new, expressing yourself, and really doing something you enjoy. And it could be a different career. It could be a different career that makes more money or less money or better benefits or crappier benefits, but it doesn't matter. It's like, what is the guidance system telling you to do? If you're happier there, go there. I would always search for your happiness or your bliss, because if you're happy and you're searching towards your bliss, you cannot be happy and expressive and be depressed at the same time. It's impossible. Do you understand that? They're two out. You cannot be happy and searching your bliss and expressing yourself and be depressed at the same time, right? It's impossible. And neither can you, and you can neither be depressed and focused on what you don't want in life and be happy and expressive either and creative. So it's about making a choice. And there's two sides to the coin. It depends on which one you're going to look at. So it could start out very tactical stuff, as if you're feeling an area of your life. So there's parts of areas of your life that are amazing and wonderful, right? And there's parts of your life that you're kind of down on, and you're frustrated, and you feel heavy, and it's depressive. So you have to ask yourself, what am I failing to express here? What are my true feelings here? What am I failing to express in the moment? Or that job or that situation you're in is confining you, and you're not able to express yourself. So you can work that way too, that you're in a situation, a relationship, a job that's compressive on you, or maybe, your health is gone. Maybe you're overweight and it's compressing you from able to express yourself, therefore putting you in a depressive state. We always talk about kids. Just think of a child who's so excited and they love to play and they're outspoken and they're in a class for the first time and someone says, sit down in your seat, be quiet. And it starts to compress and suppress them from being able to express themselves. And you do that long enough, you're in a situation when you cannot express yourself long enough, and what happens? You become quiet, you become depressive, suppressive, and you hold your hero on the inside. And then you do that for years and decades, and guess what? You find yourself just conforming to the status quo of mediocrity. Versus when you express yourself, that is a characteristic of the true hero nature of you, and you're expressing your truth. Always remember that. When you express it, it's your truth, right? Because if I'm being suppressed of something I feel, and I feel I can't express myself, that means I'm hiding. That means I'm in this secret identity. But I'm able to let go and express and say my truth, then I cannot be expressed and depressed at the same time. And so wherever you're at, if you're feeling that guidance system, that heroic guidance system, and you feel depressive or heavy in that area, understand that either one, you're failing to express yourself in that area, or two, you're actually in a situation, business-wise, financial-wise, relationship-wise, or health-wise, that it's suffocating you and not allowing you to be able to express yourself. And the number one thing that could be the most harmful thing for you to do is to stay there. Because if you keep on doing it, you'll never be able to create that life you want of expressive personality, being who you want to be, if you're doing this, right? You can't have both at the same time. And that's the good news. And that should be hopeful for you, knowing that, hey, if I could express myself, depression evaporates. So if you are going through a tough time, we all go through it. That's life. See it as contrast. It's going to suck during the moment, but use that story, because usually the contrast in your life creates the story. Yes, I almost died of a digestive disease experience. Great. And that led me on another journey. So looking back, but it's an experience, right? It's contrast. I'm not going to be depressed about it. I was saddened the other day. I saw someone who they were diagnosed with the same digestive experience I had. And I beat it, and I've helped hundreds or thousands of people beat the same thing. But I see on their Instagram, like it's part of their identity. I'm a this, I'm a this, I'm a this, and I'm a this disease person. And it saddens the hell out of me because it's a lie. It's a total lie of an identity. They have taken upon that identity as a significance factor. They have found significance in a disease process because it gives them attention and significance of other people in a negative fashion. And I can't help someone like that. I cannot help you if you stay and choose to stay as a victim and choose to stay in a depressive, suppressive state. But when you choose to be able to express yourself and draw on the line and seek your happiness and your bliss, knowing that expression, happiness, bliss, and what you love to do is the only way to create the life you always wanted to have in all areas, then that's your way out. And that's the life you were always created to have. So I appreciate you guys. Hopefully you guys enjoy this. This is a really good one. That the opposite of depression is expression. If you do like this, hit the like, hit the share. There's someone that definitely needs to hear this today. Also, if you go to IamHero.com, I have those free masterclasses for you guys at this point. And the great masterclass that will fit this is I Am Value. So check out, if you haven't already signed up for the I Am Value, it's free. There's no cost. I Am Value right there. And understand this program, and when we do these lives, you have to understand a couple things. This is very safe for you. So if you're going through something, understand it's safety here, okay? No one's judging you. So I understand we're going through tough times. Understand this is a safe place. Number two, that when you start to express yourself and depression starts to evaporate, your relationships will improve. Definitely. Your love life will improve, right? Your relationships, you'll have deeper set relationships. Also your respect will improve. The respect for yourself, and you'll also get better respect from others because you're leading a life. See, I tell people, you can never become sick enough to help a sick person. You can never reach a level of poverty to help a impoverished person. So you can't shrink for the benefit for the insecurity of others. You shine your light. You be your expressive self, and that helps pull and attract people. And most importantly, it's your life will be fulfilled that way. You know, when you'll be able to express yourself, you'll be able to really feel blessed and that you live in a fulfilled life. So this is for you guys. Please pass it on. Check it out. Have an amazing day. And I'll see you guys Thursday with Hero Fuel. God bless.